Hello and welcome back to another episode of Generation Films. My name is American Ben. As many of you might have heard by now, due to the T-virus outbreak, the next Star Wars film has been pushed back a year from December 2022 to December 2023. Overall, no matter what you think of the latest trilogy, I think that this is a good thing. All of the films made a lot of money, but they are not universally beloved in the same way the original trilogy is, though there's still time. The Last Jedi was the breaking point at which a clear schism was formed between fans who liked the direction Star Wars was heading in and those who didn't. The repercussions from the fallout of The Last Jedi were felt in Solo's poor box office performance and ultimately led to The Rise of Skywalker failing to leave fans off on a good note. So maybe Disney can put the extra year to good use, take a breather, re-strategize, and think hard about how to move forward. That said, I want to move back for a second, because one thing I personally would like to see more of in the future are Rogue One style Star Wars films. Now, I know I'm a little bit late to the game here, but I've actually wanted to do this video since the movie came out. In my estimation, it is the best Star Wars film. Now, I know that many of you treasure the original trilogy, and I do too, but that's at least partly due to nostalgia, rather than them fully holding up over time. So Rogue One is the direction that I would like to see Star Wars head in, and today I'm going to lay out what I think it specifically did right. And I know that most of you watching this video have seen this movie already, but just in case, spoiler alert. It's clear from the very start of Rogue One that you're about to see a different type of Star Wars movie. It sets a darker, grittier tone. Director Krennic and his Death Troopers have the air of a Gestapo secret police squad as they hunt down Galen Erso and his family at their remote hideaway. And then they actually shoot Galen's wife in front of him and his child. Most deaths in Star Wars are offered up a lot easier. Some random stormtrooper is fallen by a blaster in battle, or Obi-Wan is struck down cleanly by a lightsaber. But a mother in front of her child, after seeing that, you know you're in for some heavier fare. And the film had to start like this, set the tone early on, set the stakes. Of course, the original trilogy had mass amounts of death, and the prequel trilogy added in some pretty dark moments. So I'm not necessarily saying that Star Wars needs to get darker, but what Rogue One did particularly well was convey a sense of realism. When in the original trilogy Alderaan is blown up, it's a pretty effed up moment. It's pretty dark. But the way the movie presents it lessens the heaviness of the moment. It seems a bit silly, unserious, especially because Princess Leia doesn't seem to care very much. The idea that campiness is essential to sci-fi has pervaded the genre since its inception. And I've never understood why this is true. I've always wanted more realistic sci-fi. Perhaps this is why I enjoy The Expanse so much. Rogue One almost completely shed the camp that has overwhelmed previous Star Wars films, and so you bought its drama. When The Force Awakens came out, it successfully reawakened the franchise by staying true to Star Wars. It felt like a film straight from the heart of the original trilogy. And don't get me wrong, Rogue One is true to Star Wars too. It feels authentic and has some dialogue that is quintessentially Star Wars.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
Its various worlds do Star Wars justice as well. They're distinct from one another. Some are desolate wastelands of solemn blues, and others thriving cities of reddish sands rife with life and culture. But this stuff is all pretty typical Star Wars fare. It's expected. However, Rogue One went beyond The Force Awakens by evolving Star Wars to meet the standards that modern audiences expect of modern films. And so while some people might prize the original trilogy films highest because they are naturally most true to Star Wars, and while such people might want more films in line with the original trilogy, I prefer that Star Wars continue to evolve along the path that Rogue One set out upon. The movie's writing and directing is truly superb. The film's creators really understand their audience, and this starts with the characters, which feel like three-dimensional, living, breathing beings. Star Wars is all about good versus evil, and those who are good in Star Wars are usually unambiguously good. I mean, yeah, Yoda's a little creepy and characters can switch sides, but generally speaking, when a character in Star Wars is on the dark side, he's palpably evil, and when he's on the light, he's overtly good. This is, at least I think, true for the main trilogies. Even in the new trilogy, when we get a character like Admiral Holdo, someone who we're not sure at first if she's good or bad, her actions are at least demonstratively good. And I'm not trying to hate on the new trilogy's characters, but for the most part they stay pretty true to the original trilogy's character dynamics, in that they're somewhat flat and uncomplicated, aside from maybe Finn, whose character was largely neglected in the end anyway. Rogue One, however, does not play the game the same way. There's dark and light in the film, but you get the sense that some shitty people fight for the light and some good people fight for the dark. Humans all around. Cassian Andor is likable, but not totally, and he's morally ambiguous at times. He's deceptive, he's ready and willing to kill. Even Jyn Erso is no goody two-shoes. She doesn't just pursue some abstract greater good. She has a very specific political allegiance and a cause that she fights for. She isn't measured in her actions or overly honorable. She's complicated. And listen, in the real world, I think it's noble and ideal to be committed to some basic set of morals. We want people to believe in the greater good, but ultimately what we get in life are very complicated people, and Rogue One reflects this. Side note, Saw Gerrera was probably the silliest part of the movie, but it's Forrest Whitaker and he's awesome. So, hall pass. And then there's Chirrut Îmwe and Baze Malbus, who in my view, well, biased view given my love of Hong Kong martial arts cinema, are the best Star Wars characters in years. Where they might be a bit more purely good than the main characters, they often return the blending of genres, mixing wuxia into space opera. Hell yes, I'll have another. And every character in the film has some different tick, motivation, and a distinct personality. Even the droid K2SO is a bit of an enigma. All of the characters are interesting, puzzling. The movie puts in effort to make them feel as if they have real histories that precede the film's plot and extend beyond it. Who they are is the product of life experience, not just randomly assigned characteristics.
I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. You're not the only one who lost everything.
And this is why they feel so real. And yet none of them feel special, which helps the audience buy into the stakes of the narrative. None of them feel invincible or perfect or divine. They're your friends from the bar going to war in space. All of these characters are expendable. You get the sense that God does not favor them. They're not protected by magical incantations of script work as Luke Skywalker is. They are, in a way, just peons in the grander scale of the universe, and because of this, there's a beauty in their collective tragedy, in their desperate human condition. Now, all along in this video, I've been leading into a discussion about the effectiveness of the film's story, but before I quite get there, I want to stop to make a point that if I didn't make, I'd imagine you'd make for me in the comments. Which is that the greatest strength of Rogue One is its battles. A lot of you just want some damn good action. Stop trying to message me to death. Serve me up some epic space battles, and I'll walk out of the movie with a smile on my face. And Rogue One delivers. Boy, does it deliver. Actually, I'm not sure a Star Wars film has ever done combat quite this well. The ground shootouts are intense, and the melee fighting is exceptionally choreographed and actually looks like it's happening as opposed to the klutzy, fake-looking fighting of many of the previous films. And yeah, the space battles are breathtaking. The Battle of Scarif might be the most epic space combat ever put to screen. It's a 30-minute long menagerie of X-Wing aerobatics, TIE fighter onslaughts, destroyer collisions, and military tactics unfolding right in front of your eyes. And all of this, along with the characters and tone of the film, help to add to the effectiveness of the story, which is what, more than anything else really, makes Rogue One a special film. Rogue One is the first and only movie in Star Wars canon to truly bring the rebellion to life. Yeah, sure, other Star Wars films tell the story of the rebellion, show it, but Rogue One makes you feel it, understand it.
The Alliance, the Rebels, whatever it is you're calling yourself these days. All it's ever brought me is pain.
Because of how gritty, imperfect, and acutely human the characters are, because of the realistic nature of the film, the rebellion ceases to be some abstract concept of heavenly good versus satanic evil, and morphs into a tangible political struggle that we can connect to real events in human history. And because there's no annoying, vacuous, spoon-fed messaging in the movie, because the film just lets its narrative be, the audience is able to focus on larger ideas implicit in the story. Personally, what I took from Rogue One was a sense of the true human cost of rebellion and of the lives that are lost in fighting for it. People who will never get to enjoy the spoils that come from the success of the rebellion. The rebels almost felt like a militia in the Revolutionary War taking up arms against the British Empire. A bunch of carpenters and farmers going to war. I mean, this guy, Blue Leader, this is Dad. Yes, they have great mustaches, but they're not perfect. They're not even entirely innocent.
Some of us, most of us, we've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion.
They've done some bad things, things that have come to haunt their consciences. It's not all flashy heroics and shiny medals. And because of this, their lives, their sacrifices feel real and hit hard. Jyn Erso was born into the rebellion. She didn't ask for it, but this is her plight, and it's not fun. She doesn't even have time to properly bid her father farewell as he lays dying. She'll never see him again. And rather than seem like some omnipotent hero, she seems like a rebel, adopted into the cause. And like so many young faces in Earth's history, she gave her life, her only life, to it. Rogue One is Star Wars for adults, and even though I don't think everyone will agree that everything I mentioned in this video is important to making a good Star Wars film, this is the direction I'd like to see Star Wars head in going forward. Anyways, that is the video. God damn, it is hot in here, and god damn, it is loud outside. There is a dog that I am gonna kill. Please do give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about everything I've said. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell. For now, my name is American Ben, and I'll catch you next time. Generation Films, peace.